Hello, everyone. I am happy you are here today. Thank you for spending this time with English Owl. Maybe you are at home. Maybe you are going to work. Maybe you are taking a walk. Wherever you are, I hope you enjoy this time. You do not need to understand every word. Just listen. Enjoy the moment. And learn English one small step at a time. We have talked about 7 days. 7 days can help you start. We have talked about 30 days. 30 days can help you continue. But what happens when you keep going for 90 days? 3 months. That may sound like a long time. But think about the last 3 months. They passed, day by day, week by week, month by month. Time kept moving. Time always moves. The question is simple. What will you do while time is moving? Many people want to change. They want to learn English. They want to become healthier. They want to save money. They want to read more. They want a better life. But many people want change too quickly. They start today. Then they look for a result tomorrow. They study English for 1 week. Then they ask, why is English still hard? They walk for 2 weeks. Then they ask, why do I still feel the same? They save money for 1 month. Then they ask, why is the number still small? They feel tired. They feel disappointed. Then they stop. But maybe the problem is not the action. Maybe the problem is time. Good change often needs more time. Think about learning English. You listen today. You learn a few words. Tomorrow you listen again. You hear the same words. Some words begin to feel familiar. After 1 week, you understand a little more. After 1 month, some sentences feel easier. But you still have a lot to learn. Does this mean you are not changing? No. It means you are still growing. You need more time. Time to listen. Time to learn. Time to forget. Time to learn again. Time to make mistakes. Time to understand. This is normal. Good change is often slow. We may not like that. We want fast results. We want to see something. We want to feel something. We want to know that our work matters. But slow does not mean bad. Slow does not mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the most important change is still too small to see. Think about a tree. You plant a small seed. The next morning, you look at the ground. Nothing. You come back the next day. Still nothing. A week passes. You may begin to wonder, is anything happening? But under the ground, the seed is changing. You cannot see it. But something is happening. The seed needs time. Then one day, a small green leaf comes out of the ground. Now you can see the change. But the change did not begin that day. It began earlier. It began when you could not see it. Your life can be like this too. You do something good today. Then you do it again tomorrow. At first, you may not see a result. That is okay. Keep giving the action time. Maybe you are listening to English. Your mind is learning. Maybe you are walking every day. Your body is working. Maybe you are saving money. The number is growing. Maybe you are reading. Your knowledge is growing. You may not see a big difference today. But small does not mean nothing. This is why 90 days can matter. 90 days give your actions more time. More time to grow. More time to become stronger. More time to become part of your life. But this does not mean you need to do more. You do not need a bigger plan. You do not need to work all day. You do not need to change everything. The action can stay small. only the time becomes longer. This is important. Many people think a big result needs a big action, so they try to do too much. They study for 3 hours. They exercise every day. They stop eating everything they like. They make a huge plan. For a short time, they feel strong. Then they become tired. The plan becomes too hard, and they stop. Maybe there is another way. Do less, but give it more time. Read a few pages, but keep reading. Walk for 10 minutes, but keep walking. Listen to English for 15 minutes, but keep listening. Save a small amount, but keep saving. Small actions can feel weak, but time can make them stronger. One day may not look important. One week may still feel small. One month may only be the beginning. But what happens when you continue? What happens when you give the action 3 months? This is where something can begin to change. The action has more time to work, and you have more time to grow. Think about the next 90 days. Do not try to see all of them at once. You do not need to carry 3 months today. You only need to carry this day. What can you do today? That is enough. Tomorrow, ask the same question. What can I do today? Then do the small action again. One day, then another, then another. This is how 90 days begin. Not with a huge promise, not with a perfect plan, with one small action, done many times. Maybe today feels too small. That is okay. Maybe you think, this cannot change my life. Do not ask one day to change your life. Give the action more time. A single English lesson may not change your English, but many lessons can. One walk may not change your health, but many walks can. $1 may not change your future, but many small choices can. One page may not teach you very much, but many pages can become a book. This is the power of time. Time helps small things grow, but only if you continue. The days will pass anyway. This is something important to remember. 3 months from now will come. You cannot stop time. You cannot keep today forever. The days will move. So ask yourself a question. Where do you want to be 3 months from now? Maybe you want to understand more English. Maybe you want to feel healthier. Maybe you want to have more money saved. Maybe you want to finish a book. Maybe you want to feel more calm. Now ask another question. What small action can help you move in that direction? Do not choose 10 actions. Choose one. Make it simple. Make it easy to repeat. Then give it time. You may feel excited on the first day. Good. Use that feeling. But do not expect the feeling to stay forever. Some days will feel normal. Some days will feel slow. That is okay. The goal is not to feel excited for 90 days. The goal is to give one good action enough time. Maybe you will not see much after 1 week. Continue. Maybe the result is still small after 1 month. Continue. Maybe the middle feels slow. Continue. You are giving something good a chance to grow. That matters. Many people stop because they look too far ahead. They think about day 90. It feels far away. Then they become tired before they even begin. Do not do that. Come back to today. You do not need 90 perfect days. You need 1 day. Then another day. You do not need to know how you will feel next month. You only need to know what you can do now. This makes the goal smaller. It makes the road easier to see. Today, take 1 step. Tomorrow, take another. After some time, look back. You may be surprised. You are farther from where you started, not because you made one huge jump, because you kept moving. This is how real change often happens. Quietly, slowly, on normal days. There may be no big moment. No one may notice. You may not notice at first. But the days are adding up. Your actions are adding up. And you are giving change more time. Maybe you are listening to this story because you want to change something. Maybe you have tried before. Maybe you started and stopped. Maybe you feel tired of starting again. This time, do not ask yourself to change everything. Do not ask yourself to become a new person tomorrow. Ask for something smaller. Ask yourself to begin one good action. Then give it time. You do not need fast change. You need a direction. You need a small action. And you need time. Think about where you were 90 days ago. What were you doing? What were you thinking about? What did you want to change? Now think about today. Those 90 days passed. The next 90 days will pass too. This is not something to fear. It is a chance to learn, a chance to grow, a chance to continue something good. You do not need to use every minute perfectly. You do not need to have 90 perfect days. Just put something good inside more of your days. A short walk, a few pages, a little English, a small amount of money saved, one good action. Then let time help you. This is where 90 days become powerful. Not because the number 90 is magic. It is not. 90 days cannot promise you a perfect life. But 90 days can give you something important. Time. Time for small actions to grow. Time for slow results to appear. Time for you to learn. Time for you to become more patient. So do not rush. Do not ask, why am I not there yet? Ask a better question. What can I do today? Then do it. Let today be enough. Tomorrow will come. And when it does, you can take another step. 7 days can help you start. 30 days can help you continue. And 90 days can show you what happens when you give small actions more time. The change may be slow. The change may be quiet. But slow change can still be real change. And when you continue long enough, those small actions can begin to add up. At first, one small action may not look important. You study English for 10 minutes. You take a short walk. You read 3 pages. You save a little money. Then the day ends. Nothing big happens. Your life looks the same. The next day, you do it again. Still, nothing looks very different. This is why small actions can be hard to trust. They do not always give you a fast result. They do not make a lot of noise. They do not change everything in one day. But something important is happening. The actions are beginning to add up. 1 day becomes 2 days. 2 days become 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. Then 1 month becomes 3 months. The action is still small. But now you have done it many times. This can make a difference. Think about learning English. Maybe you learned 3 new words today. 3 words do not feel like much. Tomorrow you learn 3 more. Then 3 more. Some words you remember. Some words you forget. That is normal. But you keep learning. After many days, you know more words than before. You understand more sentences. You hear words that once felt strange. Now they feel familiar. Did 1 day change your English? No. Many small days work together. This is what it means for actions to add up. One action joins another action. Then another, and slowly something begins to grow. The same thing can happen with reading. Maybe you read 5 pages every night. 5 pages feel small. You may think, this is not enough. But keep going. 5 pages today. 5 pages tomorrow. Then 5 more. After some time, you finish a book. The book was not finished in one night. It was finished page by page. Your life can change in the same way. Not all at once. Piece by piece. Day by day. This idea is simple, but it is easy to forget. We often look at one day and ask too much from it. We want today's walk to make us healthy. We want today's English lesson to make us speak well. We want today's good choice to fix a big problem. That is too much for one day. One day has a smaller job. Its job is to add one more good action. That is all. Tomorrow has the same job. Then the next day. When many days work together, they can do more than one day can do alone. Think about a wall. A wall is made of many bricks. One brick is small. You can hold it in your hands. It does not look like a wall. But put down one brick, then another, then another. Slowly, the wall begins to grow. After one day, maybe the wall is still low. After more time, it becomes higher. The bricks did not become bigger. You simply added more of them. Your small actions can be like those bricks. One English lesson. One walk. One page. One good choice. One day of saving money. Each action is one brick. You may look at one brick and think, this is too small. But do not only look at one brick. Think about what happens when you keep adding more. This is where 90 days can become different from 7 days. 7 days can show you that you can begin. 30 days can help an action feel more normal. But after more time, you may begin to see what many small actions can do together. Maybe your English is still not perfect, but you understand more. Maybe your body has not changed completely, but walking feels easier. Maybe you are not rich, but you have more money saved. Maybe you have not read 20 books, but you finished 1 or 2. These results may not look huge. That is okay. They are real. They came from small actions, and those small actions needed time. This is why you should not laugh at a small beginning. A small beginning can grow. Do not say, it is only 10 minutes. 10 minutes can become many hours over time. Do not say, it is only 1 page. 1 page can become many books. Do not say, it is only a little money. A little money can become more. Do not say, it is only one good choice. One good choice can lead to another. Small does not mean useless. Small can mean possible. And something possible is easier to repeat. This matters. Because an action only adds up when you keep doing it. Imagine you make a very big plan. You study English for 5 hours on the first day. You feel tired. The next day, you do nothing. Then you wait for 1 week. After that, you study for 5 hours again. You are working hard. But it is difficult to continue. Now imagine another person. This person studies for 15 minutes every day. 15 minutes looks much smaller than 5 hours. But the person continues, day after day, week after week, month after month. After 90 days, who spent more time with English? Who made English a bigger part of life? The answer may surprise you. A small action repeated many times can become very powerful. This is why doing more is not always the answer. Sometimes continuing is the answer. You do not need to win every day. You only need to add something good. Maybe today is a busy day. You cannot do your full plan. Do a little. Add one small brick. Maybe today you are tired. You cannot read 10 pages. Read 2. Add one small brick. Maybe you cannot listen to English for 30 minutes. Listen for 5. Add one small brick. The action may be smaller today, but you are still building. This way of thinking can help you. You stop asking, "Did I do enough?" You begin asking, "Did I add something good today?" That question is easier. It is kinder. And it can help you continue. There is something else you may notice after many weeks. The result is not the only thing adding up. Your experience is adding up too. Every day teaches you something. You learn what time works best for you. You learn what makes starting easier. You learn what makes you stop. You learn what to do on busy days. You learn what to do when you feel tired. At first, you may know very little about your new action. After 90 days, you know much more. You have lived through many different days. Good days, slow days, busy days, tired days. Days when you wanted to do more. Days when you wanted to do nothing. Each day teaches you. This experience can help you become better at continuing. Think about learning English again. At first, maybe you do not know how to study. You try many things. You watch long videos. You buy books. You try difficult lessons. Some things help. Some things do not. But as time passes, you learn. Maybe you find that short listening practice works well for you. Maybe you enjoy easy stories. Maybe mornings are better than evenings. Maybe repeating simple words helps you. You begin to understand how you learn. This is also a result. You are not only learning English. You are learning how to learn English. Time gives you this experience. The same is true for other goals. If you walk for 90 days, you learn about your body. If you save money for 90 days, you learn about your choices. If you read for 90 days, you learn what kinds of books you enjoy. If you use your phone less, you learn when you reach for it most often. Your actions are giving you information, day by day. And this information adds up too. Maybe this is why a longer period can teach you more. In 1 week, everything may still feel new. After 1 month, you begin to understand the action. After 3 months, you may begin to understand yourself better. You see your patterns. You see your strong points. You see your problems. And you can make better choices. This is real progress. Progress is not only a big result. Progress can also mean knowing yourself better. It can mean making a better plan. It can mean doing something more easily than before. It can mean understanding why you stopped in the past. These small lessons matter. They help you move forward. But sometimes there is a problem. When actions add up slowly, we may forget where we started. We only look at today. Today, your English is not perfect. Today, your goal still feels far away. Today, there are still many things you cannot do. So you feel disappointed. This is when you need to look back. Not every day, but sometimes. Look at the person you were 90 days ago. What was difficult then? What feels easier now? What did you not know? What do you know now? What action was hard to begin? What action feels more normal today? Maybe the difference is small, but look carefully. You may see more than you expected. Imagine walking up a long hill. You walk for a long time. You feel tired. You look at the top. It is still far away. You think, "I am not making progress." Then you turn around. You look down. You see the road behind you. You see where you started, Now you understand. You have moved. The top is still far away, but you are not at the bottom anymore. This is why looking back can help. Do not only look at what is missing, look at what you have built. Maybe you know 50 more English words. Good. Maybe you can walk longer. Good. Maybe you saved a small amount of money. Good. Maybe you read your first book in a long time. Good. Do not throw away a small result because it is not a big result. Respect the work you have done. Every small result has a story behind it. Days of action. Days of trying. Days of continuing. That matters. There is another thing to remember. Small bad actions can add up too. This is not something to fear. It is something to understand. 10 minutes on your phone may become 1 hour. A small amount of money spent every day can become a large amount. One bad choice may lead to another. This is why small actions matter in both directions. You do not need to be afraid of every mistake. One bad day will not destroy your life. But it is useful to notice what you repeat. Ask yourself, what am I adding to my life every day? This is a powerful question. Maybe you are adding English. Maybe you are adding movement. Maybe you are adding books. Maybe you are adding quiet time. Maybe you are adding money to your savings. Or maybe you are adding something you do not want. Too much phone time. Too much waiting. Too many things you do not need. Look at your normal days. Your future is often being built there. Not only in big moments, in small actions, in small choices, in things you repeat. This does not mean you need to become afraid of your life. It means you can choose more carefully. You can ask, what do I want more of? Then add a little of that today. More English? Listen for 10 minutes. More health? Take a short walk. More knowledge? Read a few pages. More money saved? Save a small amount. More peace? Put your phone away for a little while. You do not need to add everything. Choose one thing. Then give it time. This is how small actions begin to become something more. At first, you are only doing the action. Later, you begin to see a result. Then you begin to learn from the action. You understand yourself better. You make better choices. You begin to trust the process more. All of these things are adding up. This is why day 90 can be very different from day 1. Not because you became perfect. Not because every problem disappeared. Not because one magic moment changed your life. Day 90 can be different because many normal days came before it. Many small choices. Many small actions. Many small lessons. They work together. Think about your own life. What is one small thing you can add today? Do not think about 10 things. Do not try to fix everything. One thing is enough. Then tomorrow, add it again. And again. Let the action stay small. Let the days do their work. Maybe the result will come slowly. That is okay. You are building. Maybe no one else can see it yet. That is okay too. You know what you are adding. Keep going. One action joins another. One day joins another. And slowly something begins to grow. Your English, your health, your savings, your knowledge, your patience, your experience, maybe even your trust in yourself. Small actions do not stay small when you give them enough time. They begin to work together. And after many weeks, you may notice something important. You are not only seeing different results. The way you think, choose, and live may be changing too. After many weeks, something else can begin to change. At first, you may not notice it. You are still you. You have the same name. You live in the same place. You have many of the same problems. But inside, something may feel different. You think differently. You make different choices. You see yourself in a new way. This change can be quiet, but it can be very important. Think about the first day. Maybe you wanted to learn English. You said, I want to study more. Maybe you wanted better health. You said, I want to walk every day. Maybe you wanted to save money. You said, I want to spend less. At first, these were only goals. They were things you wanted to do. Then you began. You took one small action, and you continued. Day after day, week after week, month after month. Now something is different. You are not only thinking about the action. You have experience. You have proof. You know what it feels like to continue. This can change the way you see yourself. Maybe you always said, I am bad at English. But now you have listened to English for many weeks. You understand more than before. Some words feel easier. Some sentences feel familiar. Can you still say nothing has changed? Maybe you always said, I never exercise. But now you walk many times each week. Walking is part of your life. Can you still say you never exercise? Maybe you always said, I cannot save money. But now you have been saving a little every week. The amount may not be big, but your action is real. Your old words may not fit you anymore. This is an important kind of change. Your actions can change the story you tell about yourself. We all have stories in our minds. I always stop. I am too lazy. I cannot learn. I am not good at this. Change is too hard for me. Maybe you have said things like this before. Maybe you said them many times. After some time, you began to believe them. But what happens when your actions tell a different story? You say, I always stop. But you have continued for 60 days. You say, I cannot learn. But you know more than you knew before. You say, I cannot change. But you are doing something today that you did not do 3 months ago. Your actions can become a new answer. They can say, maybe I can. This does not happen in one day. You may still have old thoughts. You may still doubt yourself. That is normal. But every time you continue, you give yourself new proof. One action, one day, one more choice. Slowly, the new proof begins to grow. Think about a book. Every day, you write one new line. At first, there is only one line, then one page, then more pages. After many days, you have a new story. Your actions can write a new story about you. The story does not need to say, I am perfect. It does not need to say, I can do everything. Maybe it simply says, I can continue. That is enough. Maybe it says, I can learn. That is enough too. Maybe it says, I can make a better choice today. These simple ideas can change the way you live. Because the way you see yourself can change your choices. Imagine two people. The first person thinks, I am not a person who reads. A book is on the table. The person sees it, but does not open it. The second person thinks, I am learning to read every day. The same book is on the table. This person sees it, then reads a few pages. The difference may look small, but the thought can help the action, and the action can make the thought stronger. This is how change can grow. Your actions change the way you think. Then your new way of thinking can help your actions. The two begin to work together. Maybe at first you had to push yourself to listen to English. You needed to remember. You needed to make time. But after many weeks, English feels more normal. You do not think, should I listen today? You think, when will I listen today? That is a small difference. But it matters. The action is becoming part of the way you live. Maybe you started walking because you wanted better health. At first, walking was only something on your plan. Now, when you have free time, you think about going outside. You notice how your body feels after a walk. You miss it when you do not go. Something has changed. Maybe you started saving money. At first, you only wanted a bigger number. But after many weeks, you begin to think before you buy something. You ask, do I really need this? You make a different choice. You are not only saving money. You are learning to think differently about money. This is why 90 days can change more than one result. You begin with an action. But the action can teach you. It can change your choices. It can change what feels normal. It can change what you expect from yourself. This kind of change is hard to see on a calendar. You cannot always count it. You cannot always show it to another person. But you can feel it in your daily life. Maybe you say no to something you once said yes to. Maybe you begin before you feel ready. Maybe you continue when the result is slow. Maybe you make a better choice without thinking for a long time. These moments matter. They show that something inside you is growing. Think about a river. Water moves in the same direction for a long time. Little by little, it changes the land. The change is slow. You may not see it every day. But the water keeps moving. After enough time, the land is different. Your repeated actions can work in a similar way. Every action moves in a direction. When you repeat it, that direction becomes stronger. You are not only moving toward a result. You may also be changing the way you live. This is why direction matters so much. Maybe you are still far from your big goal. That is okay. Ask yourself another question. Am I moving in a better direction? Maybe your English is not perfect. But are you listening more? Are you learning more? Are you less afraid of English? Then you are moving. Maybe your health is not perfect. But are you walking more? Are you taking better care of yourself? Then you are moving. Maybe you do not have a lot of money saved. But are you making better choices? Are you saving more than before? Then you are moving. Do not only ask, did I reach the goal? Look at your direction. Your direction can tell you a lot, because a big goal may take a long time. But a better direction can begin today. This can also help you on difficult days. Maybe one day does not go well. You eat something you did not plan to eat. You spend money you wanted to save. You do not study English. You do not take your walk. What does that day mean? It means you had one difficult day. That is all. It does not need to become your whole story. Look at the bigger direction. What have you been doing for many weeks? Where are most of your actions taking you? One bad day does not need to change that direction. Return to it. This is different from the way you may have thought before. Before, one mistake may have made you stop. You thought, I failed. Now maybe you think, today was hard. I will continue tomorrow. That is change. Before, you wanted everything to be perfect. Now maybe you understand that continuing is more important. That is change too. Before, you only looked at the result. Now maybe you notice your actions. You notice your choices. You notice your direction. This is also change. You are learning how to think differently. Not because someone told you to, because you lived through the days. You had the experience. You saw what worked. You saw what did not work. You learned, and experience can be a strong teacher. This is why time matters. You need time to make mistakes. You need time to learn from them. You need time to try again. You need time to understand yourself. In 90 days, you may see yourself on many different kinds of days. Happy days, busy days, tired days, slow days, good days, difficult days. You learn something from all of them. You learn what helps you. You learn what makes things harder. You learn when you have more energy. You learn when you need rest. You learn how small your action needs to be on a difficult day. This knowledge becomes part of you. You are not the same person who started on day one. On day one, you only had a plan. Now you have experience. On day one, you only hoped you could continue. Now you know more about how to continue. On day one, the road was new. Now you have walked on it for many weeks. You know the road better. You know yourself better too. Maybe you still have doubts. That is okay. Change does not remove every doubt. Maybe you still feel tired sometimes. That is normal. Maybe you still make mistakes. Of course you do. Being different does not mean being perfect. It means something has changed. Maybe you return faster after a mistake. Maybe you make better choices more often. Maybe you are more patient with slow results. Maybe you trust yourself a little more. These changes may be enough to take you farther. Think about the person you were 90 days ago. Maybe that person wanted the same things you want now. Better English, better health, more money saved, more knowledge, a better life. But there may be one important difference. That person was thinking about change. You are living it. That person was standing at the beginning. You have many days behind you. That person did not know what would happen. You have learned from experience. Do not forget this. Sometimes we change so slowly that we do not notice. We wake up every morning as ourselves. We look in the same mirror. We live our normal lives. So we think nothing is different. But look back. Look carefully. What feels easier now? What do you understand now? What choices are different? What have you continued? What have you learned about yourself? The answers may show you something. You have changed more than you thought. Maybe the change is still small. That is okay. Small change can grow. Maybe you are still far from your goal. That is okay too. You are not where you started. Respect that. There is no need to become a completely new person. Maybe you only need to become a little better at making good choices, a little better at continuing, a little better at waiting, a little better at learning, a little better at trusting yourself. These small changes inside you can become very important over time, because your life is made of choices. What you do in the morning, what you do when you are tired, what you do with your free time, what you do after a mistake, what you do when no one is watching. As your choices change, your days can change. And when enough days change, your life can begin to feel different. This does not happen because 90 days are magic. It happens because you have spent 90 days practicing something. You practiced listening. You practiced walking. You practiced saving. You practiced reading. But maybe you also practiced patience. You practiced continuing. You practiced making better choices. You practiced believing that small actions matter. The things you practice can become stronger. So ask yourself something. What have I been practicing? Maybe the answer is good. Maybe you have been practicing something you want more of. Keep going. Maybe the answer is not what you want. That is okay. You can choose a new direction. You can begin with one small action. Your future is not decided by one day, but your repeated choices matter. Choose what you want to practice. Then give it time. Maybe you want to become better at English. Practice listening. Maybe you want to become healthier. Practice moving. Maybe you want to become better with money. Practice making careful choices. Maybe you want a calmer life. Practice giving yourself quiet time. Do not try to become a new person in one day. Practice one good action. Then practice it again. Little by little, the action can become easier. The choice can become more natural. And the person you are becoming can begin to feel more real. This is one of the quiet powers of 90 days. You may start because you want a result. But after enough time, you may find something more. A new way of thinking. A new way of choosing. A new way of seeing yourself. You may look the same. You may live in the same place. Your life may still have problems. But you know something now. You can continue. You can learn. You can grow. You have proof. You have experience. And you have many small actions behind you. Do not forget them. They are part of your story now. The person who started on day one had hope. The person standing here now has something more. Experience. And as your new choices become more familiar, something else can begin to happen. The life that once felt difficult and new may slowly begin to feel normal. At the beginning, change can feel strange. You are doing something new. You need to think about it. You need to remember. You need to make time. Maybe you need to push yourself. The action does not feel natural yet. It feels like work. But after many weeks, something can begin to change. The new action may not feel so new anymore. It begins to feel normal. Maybe you started listening to English every morning. At first, you needed to remember. You looked at the time. You found your headphones. You chose something to listen to. Some mornings, you did not want to start. But you continued. Now many weeks have passed. You wake up. You make your coffee. You sit down. And you listen to English. You do not think about it for a long time. You simply begin. English has found a place in your morning. Maybe you started walking after work. At first, it felt difficult. You were tired. You wanted to go home and rest. You needed to tell yourself, just walk for 10 minutes. But now something is different. You finish work. You put on your shoes. You go outside. The walk feels like part of your day. You may even miss it when you do not go. This is an important kind of change. The action is not only something you are trying to do. It is becoming part of the way you live. This can happen slowly. So slowly that you may not notice it. There is no big moment. No one tells you your life is different now. You simply continue. Then one day you stop and think. This used to be hard for me. That can be a powerful moment. Something that once needed a lot of thought now feels easier. Something that once felt strange now feels familiar. Something that once felt difficult now has a place in your life. This is one reason time matters. Time gives you a chance to practice. Not only the action, you also practice the life around the action. You learn when to do it. You learn where to do it. You learn how much time you need. You learn what makes it easier. After many weeks, you do not need to answer the same questions every day. The action has a home. Maybe English comes after breakfast. Maybe walking comes after work. Maybe reading comes before bed. Maybe saving money happens every Friday. The action has a time. It has a place. It has become part of your normal life. Think about the first time you went to a new school, or the first day at a new job. Everything felt different. You did not know where to go. You did not know what to do. You needed to think about many small things. Then time passed. You learned. You found your way. The strange place became familiar. One day you walked in without thinking very much. The place did not change. You became more comfortable there. A new habit can feel like this. At first, it is a new place. You do not know the way. You forget things. You make mistakes. You need more energy. But you keep returning. Again and again. After enough time, you know the way. The action becomes more familiar. This does not mean every day becomes easy. That is important to remember. Even after 90 days, you can feel tired. You can feel busy. You can have a bad day. You can lose motivation. You can make mistakes. Normal does not mean perfect. Normal means you know how the action fits into your life. You know how to begin. You know what to do. You know how to make it smaller when you need to. You have experience now. That experience can help you. Maybe you usually walk for 30 minutes. Today you are tired. Before you may have stopped completely. Now you know another way. You walk for 10 minutes. The plan changes, but the action stays in your life. Maybe you usually listen to English in the morning. Today, your morning is busy. Before, you may have said, "I failed." Now you listen later. You know that one different day does not change everything. This is part of your new normal too. You become more flexible. You stop asking for perfect days. You begin to understand your real life. This can make a big difference. A good life is not built on perfect days. It is built inside normal life. Busy mornings, tired evenings, unexpected problems, changes in your plans. Your good actions need to live there. Not in a perfect future. Not in a life with no problems. In the life you have now. This is why 90 days can teach you so much. 3 months are long enough for many different days. You may have busy weeks. You may travel. You may feel tired. You may have more work. You may have days when nothing goes as planned. And still, you learn. You learn how your good action can stay with you. Maybe it becomes smaller. Maybe it moves to another time. Maybe you rest for a day. Then you return. The action is no longer a short challenge. It is becoming part of your real life. Think about the word normal. Many people think normal is boring. But normal can be powerful. What you do normally becomes a big part of your life. If you normally spend hours on your phone, that affects your life. If you normally spend a little time learning, that affects your life too. If you normally spend all your money, that affects your future. If you normally save a little, that also affects your future. Your normal actions matter because you repeat them again and again. This is why making a good action feel normal can be so powerful. You do not need to do something amazing every day. You need good things to have a place in your normal days. Maybe 15 minutes of English becomes normal. Maybe a short walk becomes normal. Maybe reading before bed becomes normal. Maybe thinking before you buy something becomes normal. These actions may still look small, but now they are staying. And something that stays can continue to grow. Think about your home. There are things you use every day. A chair, a table, a cup, a toothbrush. You do not feel excited every time you see them. They are simply part of your life. You use them without thinking very much. A good action can slowly become like this. At first, you think about it all the time. Later, it is simply there. Part of your morning, part of your evening, part of your week. This does not happen because you forced yourself to be perfect. It happens because you returned many times. You gave the action time. You gave yourself time. Now the action feels more familiar. This is a quiet kind of success. Many people do not celebrate it. They only celebrate big results. They celebrate losing a lot of weight, speaking English well, saving a large amount of money, finishing many books. Those results are good. But there is another success that comes before them. Making the good action normal. This success is easy to miss. Maybe you still have a long way to go. But now you listen to English every day. That matters. Maybe you are still not as healthy as you want to be. But walking is part of your week. That matters too. Maybe your savings are still small. But now you think before you spend. That matters. The result may still be growing. But your normal life has already started to change. Do not ignore this. Look at your normal day. What do you do now that you did not do 90 days ago? What feels easier? What do you remember without trying? What good choice feels more natural? These questions can show you your change. Maybe 90 days ago, you spent a lot of time thinking about starting. Now you simply begin. Maybe 90 days ago, one hard day made you stop. Now you change the plan and continue. Maybe 90 days ago, you wanted fast results. Now you understand that slow growth is okay. These changes matter. They make continuing easier. And when continuing becomes easier, your good actions can stay longer. This is where your life can begin to move in a new direction. Not through one huge decision. Through your normal choices. Imagine two roads. You stand where the roads begin. At first, they are very close. You take one small step on one road. Another person takes one small step on the other road. The difference is very small. Then you both continue. Day after day. After a long time, the roads are far apart. This is what direction can do. A small difference today can become a bigger difference later. Your new normal gives you a direction. Every time you listen to English, you move in one direction. Every time you take care of your health, you move. Every time you save instead of spending, you move. Every time you choose to read, learn, or rest well, you move. The action may feel normal now, but it is still taking you somewhere. Do not think normal means nothing is happening. Sometimes normal is where the biggest change grows, because you are no longer starting and stopping. You are living differently, little by little. Maybe other people do not notice. That is okay. Your change does not need to be loud. Maybe no one says anything about your English. Keep learning. Maybe no one notices your small savings. Keep saving. Maybe no one sees your morning walk. Keep walking. You know what you are building. That is enough. Real change often grows when no one is watching. On normal mornings. On quiet evenings. In small choices. in simple actions. You do not need people to see every step. The step still matters. This can also help you stop comparing yourself to other people. Maybe someone speaks English better than you. Maybe someone is healthier. Maybe someone has more money. Maybe someone reads more books. That is their road. Come back to your own road. What is normal for you now? What was normal for you 90 days ago? Look at that difference. That is where your progress is. Maybe your change looks small next to someone else, but compared to your old life, it may be important. Do not lose your progress by looking at someone else's life. Stay with your direction. Stay with your small actions. Let your new normal become stronger. There is no need to rush. Sometimes, when people see a result, they make a mistake. They think, now I need to do more. They make the action bigger, then harder. Soon, the action no longer fits their life. They become tired, and they stop. Be careful with this. More is not always better. If your action is working, you do not always need to make it bigger. Maybe 15 minutes of English is enough for now. Maybe a short walk is enough. Maybe reading 5 pages is working well. Let the good action stay simple. A small action that stays can be better than a big action that disappears. Remember this. The goal is not to make your life harder. The goal is to make something good part of your life. If it fits, it can stay. If it stays, it can keep growing. This is one of the best things you can learn in 90 days. You learn what can stay. Maybe you tried many things before. Big plans, hard plans, perfect plans. They did not stay. Now you know something different. Simple can stay. Small can stay. Flexible can stay. And when something good stays long enough, it can change more than you expected. Think about the person who started on day 1. That person needed to think about every step. That person did not know if the plan would work. That person did not know what the hard days would feel like. Now look at yourself. You have experience. You know more. You understand your life better. You know how to make the action fit. You know how to continue without making every day perfect. This is a different place. Maybe you are not at the end of your road. You are probably not, but you are no longer standing at the beginning. You have built something, a new action, a new direction, maybe even a new normal. Respect that. Give yourself time to notice it. You do not need to say, my whole life is different. Maybe that is not true. Say something simpler. This good action is part of my life now. That is enough. Because when one good action becomes part of your life, it can stay with you for much longer than 90 days. It can continue. It can grow. It can lead to other good choices. And slowly, the life you once wanted may begin to feel less like a dream. It may begin to feel like the life you are actually living. This is the quiet power of a new normal. At first, you wanted change. Then you practiced change. Now you are beginning to live it. Do not rush past this moment. Look at what has become easier. Look at what has become familiar. Look at the choices you make now. Maybe you have come farther than you think, and soon it will be time to look back at the whole journey. Not only at the result, but at the distance between the person who started and the person standing here now. Now imagine that day 90 is here. 3 months have passed. You look at the calendar. You think about the first day. Maybe it feels close. Maybe it feels far away. But you remember something. You started with one small action. That was all. You did not know what would happen. You did not know if you could continue. You did not know what the next 3 months would bring. But you began. Then one day became another. 1 week became 1 month. 1 month became 2. Then 3 months passed. Now you are here. Before you think about what comes next, look back. Look at where you started. This is important. Many people only look forward. They look at the goal. They look at how far they still need to go. They look at what they do not have. They look at what they still cannot do. And they forget something. They forget to look behind them. Do not make that mistake. Turn around for a moment. Look at your road. How far have you come? Maybe your English is still not perfect. But do you understand more? Do some words feel easier? Can you listen for longer? Are you less afraid of making mistakes? Maybe your body is not completely different. But can you walk farther? Do you have more energy? Does moving feel more normal? Maybe you did not save a huge amount of money. But do you think more before you buy something? Do you save more often? Do you understand your choices better? Maybe you did not read many books. But did you finish one? Did reading become part of your evening? Did you learn something new? Look carefully. Change is not always big. Sometimes it is hiding inside your normal life. You need to stop and notice it. Think about the person you were on day one. That person had a goal. That person had hope. But that person did not have your experience. You have lived through 90 days. You have seen easy days. You have seen hard days. You have seen busy days. You have seen slow days. You know more now. You know what helps you begin. You know what makes things difficult. You know how to make your actions smaller. You know how to return after a mistake. You know that results need time. These lessons matter. Maybe they matter more than you think. Because a result can change. You may lose money. You may forget words. You may stop walking for some time. Life can change. But what you learned can stay with you. You know how to begin again. That is powerful. Maybe 90 days ago, one bad day made you stop. Now, you understand something. One bad day is only one bad day. Maybe 90 days ago, you wanted fast results. Now you know that slow change is still change. Maybe 90 days ago, you tried to do too much. Now you know that small actions can stay longer. Maybe 90 days ago, you did not trust yourself. Now you have proof. You continued. Not perfectly, but you continued. That matters. Do not only celebrate the result. Celebrate what you learned. Celebrate the days when you continued. Celebrate the days when you did less but did not stop. Celebrate the times when you made a mistake and came back. These moments are part of your change. Sometimes we think success is one big moment. We imagine standing at the top of a mountain. We imagine a perfect result. We imagine everyone seeing our change. But real success may look different. Maybe success is waking up and doing your small action again. Maybe success is continuing when no one is watching. Maybe success is choosing not to stop after one mistake. Maybe success is looking back after 90 days and saying, I am still here. That can be enough. Think about a long road. On the first day, you stand at the beginning. The road goes far into the distance. You cannot see the end. You take one step. The step feels small. Then you take another. After 1 week, the road is still long. After 1 month, you still have far to go. But you continue. Then one day, you turn around. The beginning is far behind you. You may be surprised. You did not feel yourself moving very far each day, but the distance grew, step by step, day by day. This is what time can do. This is what small actions can do. They can take you farther than you think, but you need to give them a chance. You need to continue long enough to look back and see the road behind you. Maybe you are listening to this and thinking, but I did not have a perfect 90 days. That is okay. Perfect days were never the goal. Maybe you missed some days. Maybe you had a difficult week. Maybe you stopped for a short time. Maybe your plan changed. Ask yourself a better question. Did I learn? Did I grow? Did I return? Am I moving in a better direction? If the answer is yes, your time was not wasted. You do not need a perfect record. You need experience. You need lessons. You need a direction. Life is not a straight road. Sometimes you move quickly. Sometimes you move slowly. Sometimes you stop. Sometimes you need to go back. That is real life. Do not wait for a perfect life before you try to change. Change inside the life you have. Change on busy days. Change on tired days. Change when things do not go as planned. This is where real growth happens. Not in a perfect world. In your world. In your normal life. Maybe this is the biggest lesson of 90 days. You do not need to become another person. You do not need to leave your whole life behind. You can begin where you are. You can use what you have. You can choose one small action. Then you can give it time. Slowly, that action can grow. Slowly, your choices can change. Slowly, your normal life can begin to feel different. This is real change. It may not be exciting every day. It may not be easy to see, but it is real. Now there is another question. What happens after day 90? Do you stop? Do you choose a new goal? Do you make the action bigger? There is no one answer. Your next step depends on you. Maybe the action is working well. Then continue. You do not need to change it. Maybe the action has become too easy. Then you can make it a little bigger. Maybe you learned that the action does not fit your life. Then change it. Maybe you need some rest. Take some rest. Then decide what comes next. You are not following someone else's road. This is your life. Use what you learned. Make a choice that fits you. But remember something important. Do not make your next step too big. You have spent 90 days learning the power of small actions. Do not forget that lesson. You do not need to change everything now. You do not need 5 new goals. You do not need a harder life. Maybe you only need to continue. There is power in continuing something that works. Imagine you have been listening to English for 15 minutes every day. After 90 days, you feel better. You understand more. English feels more normal. You may think, now I need to study for 2 hours every day. Why? Maybe 15 minutes is working. Maybe you can continue. Maybe you can add 5 more minutes later. There is no need to rush. The same is true for walking, reading, saving money, and many other good actions. If something good has found a place in your life, protect that place. Let it stay. Let it grow slowly. Your goal is not to make change harder. Your goal is to help good change stay with you. This is where many people make a mistake. They reach a small goal. Then they quickly look for a bigger one. They do not enjoy what they built. They do not notice what they learned. They are always looking ahead, always asking for more. More money, more skill, more results. more change. But sometimes you need to stop for a moment. Look around. Look behind you. Say, I did this. Not perfectly. Not quickly. But you did it. Let yourself feel good about that. Then move forward. There is a difference between stopping and resting. There is a difference between giving up and enjoying your progress. You can be proud of how far you have come, and you can still continue. Both things can be true. Maybe you have a long way to go, and you have already come far. Maybe you still have much to learn, and you know more than before. Maybe you still make mistakes, and you are better at returning. Do not choose only one side. See the whole picture. You are still growing, and you have already grown. This can help you become more patient. You stop fighting with time. You stop asking why everything is taking so long. You understand that life is built over many days. You understand that good things need time, and you begin to enjoy the process more. Maybe you even begin to enjoy normal days. A quiet morning with English, a short walk after work, a few pages before bed, a small amount of money saved. These things may not look exciting, but they are part of the life you are building. Do not wait for a big result before you enjoy your life. Notice the good actions now. Notice the small changes now. Notice the person you are becoming now. Your life is happening today. Not only on day 90, not only when you reach your goal. Today matters too. This is why the next 90 days do not need to feel heavy. You do not need to think, now I have to do this all again. Think differently. You have another day, another chance, another small step. Maybe you continue the same action. Maybe you choose a new one. But you know something now. You know how change can work. Start small. Give it time. Let the actions add up. Learn from the days. Notice how you are changing. Let something good become normal. Then look back. This is a simple process, but simple does not mean easy. There will still be hard days. There will still be mistakes. There will still be times when you want to stop. But now you have experience. You have walked this road before. You know that one difficult day is not the end. You know that slow progress is still progress. You know that small actions matter. Use what you know. Maybe one day you will stop again. That can happen. Maybe life becomes busy. Maybe a problem comes. Maybe your old habits return. Do not think everything is lost. Remember what you learned. You can begin again. And when you begin again, you are not starting from nothing. You are starting with experience. You know more about yourself. You know what works. You know what does not work. You know how small the first step can be. This is one of the best things you can carry from your 90 days. The knowledge that you can return. You do not need to be afraid of every mistake. You do not need to be afraid of stopping for a short time. You know the road now. You can find it again. Think about that. On day 1, everything was new. On day 90, you have experience. Maybe this is the real change. Not only a better result, not only more English, not only better health, not only more money saved. You have learned how to keep moving. You have learned how to give something time. You have learned that normal days matter. You have learned that you can change without changing everything at once. These lessons can go with you into the future. They can help you with another goal, another problem, another dream. You can use them again. Start small. Give it time. Continue. Learn. change, then continue again. Your next goal may be different, but the lesson can stay the same. Good things need time. Small actions can add up. Repeated choices can change you. And a better life can slowly become your normal life. So look back one more time. Look at day one. Look at the person standing there. Maybe that person was excited, maybe afraid, maybe unsure, maybe tired of starting again. That person took one small step, then another, and another. Now look at yourself. You have more days behind you, more experience, more lessons, maybe more confidence, maybe more patience, maybe a better direction. Do not say, it was only 90 days. 90 days are made of many choices, many mornings, many evenings, many chances to stop, many chances to continue. And you are here. Be proud of that. Then ask yourself one final question. What do I want to carry with me from these 90 days? Maybe it is the action. Maybe you want to keep listening to English. Keep walking. Keep reading. Keep saving. Good. Carry it with you. Maybe it is a lesson. I do not need to be perfect. Carry that lesson. Maybe it is a new thought. I can continue. Carry that thought. Maybe it is trust. Trust that small actions matter. Trust that time can help you. Trust that you can begin again. Carry that trust. You do not need to carry everything. Take what helped you. Leave what did not. Then keep moving. Your road is not finished. There will always be more to learn, more to try, more ways to grow. But you do not need to hurry. The future will come one day at a time, just like the last 90 days. So come back to today, this moment, this small step. What good thing can you do today? Do it. Let it be small. Let it be simple. Then tomorrow, do something good again. You do not know exactly where the road will take you. That is okay. You do not need to see the whole road. You only need to see your next step. And now you know something important. One step may feel small, but one step can become many. One day can become 90 days. One good choice can become part of your life. And a person who keeps moving can travel much farther than they ever expected. Maybe 90 days did not change everything. That is okay. Everything did not need to change. Maybe one part of your life became better. Maybe one good action became normal. Maybe one old thought became weaker. Maybe you trust yourself a little more. That is real change. Respect it. Protect it. And give it more time. Because the person you are today is not the person who stood at the beginning. You have walked. You have learned. You have grown. And even if the road ahead is still long, you can look behind you and see something clearly. You came this far, one small action at a time, one normal day at a time, one choice at a time. Remember that when the next road feels long, remember that when change feels slow, remember that when you begin to doubt yourself, you do not need to change your whole life today. You only need to take the next good step, then give that step time. Thank you for spending this time with English Owl. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. And thank you for taking another small step today. Keep learning. Keep growing. And remember to look back sometimes. You may be surprised by how far you have come. See you in the next story.